everybody. So, anybody found an old lady wandering around the desert? Be funny if she just showed up, wouldn't it? Knocking on someone's house. Do you have any vanilla ice cream? I'd like some strawberry ice cream. Yeah. Mad old lady. But no, we're going to be looking at someone else today. A sheriff, right? A sheriff. An elected sheriff, would you believe? People voted for this guy. Get rid of him now. He's horrible. He's a horrible sheriff. And now he's playing basketball and watching basketball while an old lady is just, we're all looking for her body. And he's looking at the hoops. It's just disgusting. It's terrible. So I wanted to look at this horrible sheriff today. I hope that's okay with everybody.
Opportunity to ask a question. But last time we tried this, it was just kind of chaotic.
Oh, hang on.
People yelling. So I'd ask that.
Yeah. I hate this guy. I've taken to calling him Sheriff John Bennell, the host, the narrator and host of world's wildest police videos. He's got the same haircut, almost.
Trying not to cover any of these microphones up. Good morning.
Trying not to cover any of these microphones up. Well, you're going to need a fucking bed sheet to do that, son. How many have you got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like we need to have 15 microphones. Why do they do this? I mean, I get it that they're each from a different network and everybody's recording their own thing, but can we not just have one on the podium and then everybody else can take a feed? Is it that complicated, really? They're going to have feedback issues. It's archaic. I remember when they used to do that, like in the early 90s. In the early 90s, it made sense because nobody had anything else of what other people had, right? It was just all their own thing. But now we have ways to share things. Put it on Dropbox. There was no Dropbox in 1990.
I hope you've been kind of informed of the rules. That I'm going to try to get as many, if not all of you, an opportunity to ask a question. But last time we tried this, it was just kind of chaotic, people yelling. So I'd ask that you just kind of be patient with me, pay attention to the questions asked, because sometimes you guys want to ask the same question twice, and you're going to get the same answer. So help yourself, get what you can out of this.
Jesus.
I'm going to give you one question, and
Hey, we haven't signed up to take a course in how to attend a press conference. We don't need the walkthrough, okay? How far would you like me to raise my hand? Should I hold it at a 70-degree angle or a 45-degree angle? What would be best for you, you horrible sheriff?
a follow-up, okay? But before we get there, I do have some comments. First of all, I want...
It's like he's the induction guy. You've just got a new job. You're a kitchen porter in a restaurant, in a Michelin star restaurant, and now someone is coming to you and saying, okay, what we need to do is at the end of the day, we go through cleanup. So I need somebody to be on trash duty and somebody to be on mopping duty, and then somebody else is going to take care of all of the countertops, and that is going to be your role. You know, this is not how you walk up to the podium as a sheriff to give a press conference in a missing person abduction case. It's just not. It's not right. He needs to be fired.
to begin by offering our condolences to our partners at the state Department of Public Safety's.
You're offering your condolences to your partners at the Department of Public Safety. Yeah, we screwed up. But let me give you our condolences. What about the family? What about them?
Tragically lost two members last night in a helicopter crash up in northern Arizona. So,
Okay, well that is sad. I didn't know. I didn't know that's what he was going to say. So yes, and I'd like to offer Metrix condolences as well for the helicopter crash. Terrible, terrible.
you would keep them in your prayers. Colonel Glover and his team, I'm sure, would have greatly appreciated it. Along the same lines, I think you all saw last night, I'm trying to speak up,
Hey.
not yell.
Along the same lines, I hope the helicopter that crashed didn't fly into some power lines, which is a common cause of helicopter crashes, I believe, right? Along the same lines, along the same treacherous power lines that are pretty much invisible to any helicopter pilot, along those lines, it's like if somebody got hit by a train and you said, well, along those same lines, along those same train lines. Terrible choice of words, but it's a terrible sheriff, and that's why, right? That's what he does.
Apparently I can talk soft.
You don't talk soft. You talk gleefully, okay? And I don't know what that's about. I was saying this yesterday, that he reminds me of a magician, that not a cool one like David Blaine, but a really shit one. And the only job he can get is performing at children's birthday parties. You know? That's the vibe that I get from him, and maybe that should be his next job. If this guy doesn't have a trick deck of cards, that you all know he does. That's not even a reality I want to entertain. I won't entertain because he absolutely does.
We saw last night the family, they just hurt, understandably so. And so I really want you to know this entire team here, those behind me, and our community are hurting with you. We really just want Mom back, okay?
Hey, shithead sheriff, I don't care about that, all right? Where's the old lady? You've wasted about 8 minutes talking about your helicopter crash, your condolences, and that you want Mom back. Why are you talking like that Nancy Guthrie is this sort of global mother to us all? We want Mom back. This is so left field. It's ridiculous, and I can't stand it.
Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there.
Yeah, out there, dead, face down in a what's in the desert? In a carcass, in a lizard carcass that's been pecked at by vultures. They're probably soon going to be pecking her. You think Nancy Guthrie wants to think about vultures picking rotting flesh off her mother? Go and find the body today.
We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI.
Chef's Department. Did he say the Chef's Department? I'm the, he's just
back, okay? Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home.
Yeah, well, she didn't go to Mars.
Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And partners at the FBI.
Apart from my basketball game that I had to attend, it was a prior engagement, so, it couldn't be helped. We've been working around the clock until we get to court time.
I've been working around the clock. and we just want her home and get and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do. But I have other partners out there who have stepped up, and you've probably noticed them in the last few days, if not the last few hours, and you're going to see more of that. Well, I made a decision to contact our PCRIT team, and those of you not local, that's our Pima Regional Critical Incident Team. It's made up of law enforcement officers from this entire valley. Pasquayaki Police Department, Tucson Police Department, Marana Police Department, Oro Valley Police Department, Pima College Police Department, this is Tucson International Police Department, Sarita Police Department. There's so many of them, and they are going to help us tremendously. And that's really done because we have so much in front of us still, and we're hoping that, you know, I know the FBI has committed a very large number of men and women to partner with us, work side by side with us. We go do an interview, they're going to be there with us. We're going to go look at some evidence or process evidence, they're going to be right there with us. We're sharing every piece of information, all the data we can to get this thing solved. And it's important that my partners in law enforcement know and understand their roles, because it is very large, complex investigation with a lot of moving parts. And we're at that phase now.
I am so tired, and maybe I do exactly the same thing. I speak and say things that I'm thinking about. I mean, maybe everyone thinks that my content is as vacuous and empty. He hasn't said one thing that matters yet, at all, and maybe I haven't either. Oh, I don't want to be hypocritical. But I'm not in charge of a murder investigation. And people say to me, "Oh, hey, Metrix, why are you saying murder? We don't know she's dead." Do me a favor, she's fucking dead. Obvious.
Where sometimes we're waiting, right? We're waiting for analysis. We're waiting for lab reports. But even then, when they come back quickly, for example, some DNA, we rushed what we thought was the best target for DNA. We did a rush through and got some of that back. The results were minimal. I think you all know of the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting. We do have a number of leads coming in, and that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our part. It was just us. Since then, the FBI and others that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects. And I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case.
Anything? This should be a brief, few-minute press conference and then questions. This should be, okay, we received a call on this time, this day, and we went, Pena County Sheriff's deputies attended the scene. They locked off the scene, you know, for like an hour and then just opened it to the public. So all the evidence that we didn't spot can be trampled on, moron.
Nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet. The time.
What did everybody make of this, by the way? Where I have the screenshot. This one, okay. Let's put that on screen and open it to the floor. Just a second. Oh, no, not that one. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, here he is. I'm Sheriff John Bonnell of, Today, a drug-crazed psycho on a 2-day binge of booze and crystal meth is on the run from Orange County's finest. Do you remember that show? I used to love that show. Now it's all on body cam, baby. Okay, where is our screenshot? This one. Boom. Boom. Okay, make it small. I gotta change the setting though. It's way too big. God damn it. And then you gotta make it real small and then drag it up. Okay, so the comment is, let's get this chat off there. My 93-year-old dad lives in the same area. 8 nights ago, at about 10 p.m., the back porch motion light went on. There was a Hispanic man snooping around, and he tried to get into the sliding glass door. And my dad yelled, swore at him to get away, and the man ran off. The sheriff came and secured the house and told my dad to get a gun. So he did. Well, he's an American. Why wasn't he given one at birth? Everybody give your newborn a gun at birth, the day they're born. So he did. I think there might have been another man with this man, and they were looking for an easy way in. The scary thing is, the lights and TV were on. This man knew there was someone in the house. I think my dad was targeted because of his age. My dad wears an emergency button 100% of the time, praying they find her. Well, they might find her body, but she's dead. She's definitely dead. Yeah, no, it just... It was interesting because I've heard people talking about, well, maybe it's not financially motivated, and it's just someone with a weird old people obsession, like they're collecting the elderly. I mean, you got nothing better to do? Go and work in a retirement home if that's your kick. Don't kidnap Nancy Guthrie. Don't do that. No. Yeah, but then it says Hispanic man. And, I mean, not to sterilize? What's the word? Stereotype. Not to stereotype. Sterilize. Not to sterilize the situation, but the TMZ reporter said that the ransom note was penned in extremely, perfect, above standard level of English in the writing, right? I think he said that it was so good that an English professor would check it for a test and not have one comment, not one correction, which I thought was... that made me really want to see it, because I value well worded writings. But would a quote unquote Hispanic man... It's certainly possible, but the impression I get is that it's, I don't know, someone that's not writing perfect English. But maybe that's my own judgment, I don't know. It was just the level of elevation that the TMZ guy put on it. It was like, this person studied at Oxford.
Line, I think we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a...
But then what is this? I mean, let's just go back to this for a second. If they're if this is true, and it could just be not true, and someone wanting to make a post that will get a lot of attention, because that's been happening a lot, isn't it? That's been happening a lot. Well, I saw this morning, 8 nights ago. Yeah, I guess it would have been the same night. Was it the first or the second that they... That's interesting. And they say about 10 p.m. the back porch. So if it was 10 p.m. the same night, who said that? West London. West London. The Hammersmith Apollo. Ooh. Yeah. Now, if it's the same night, then maybe this Hispanic man with an old people obsession was just cruising the neighborhood. Which is funny because everybody in that neighborhood is like 100 years old, right? Everybody in Arizona is like 150 years old. What do they call it? The Florida of the desert.
The timeline that we have been able to develop with some of the things that we've had processed. Various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites, and sometimes that stuff comes back to us, and like you, we have questions, and we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back, or it's sent somewhere else. So, and that's happening with all of the things we see. That process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, and just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes. Because that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So it detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 2:28. Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy and discovers her missing. And at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here, or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort.
Yeah, that's what I thought when somebody said, oh, there's an internet children crimes unit at the, what's the sister's name? Shit, what's her name? Savannah and Annie. There's a child's internet crime division at the Annie's house. I just thought, well, they're just calling everyone they can. Right? because the sheriff's got to go to a basketball game, so they had to, get some reserves.
I think with that, let me make sure. Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed, we know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car, the car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing with the vehicle. Uber, we did speak to a driver because Nancy, we learned, had been taking the Uber to the family residence, the daughter, for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it and examine things themselves, and more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things. Here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all. Whether it's forced entry or not forced entry, that is something we're just not discussing. So I don't know where anybody got that information. I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here at the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix, and he will come up and speak.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Phoenix Division. First, I want to let the Guthrie family know that our hearts are heavy for them. After seeing your message last night, it is clear that you and your family are in pain. Please know that we are doing everything to bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County.
This guy's reading this. I mean, why would you write down? Okay. I should start off my my speech with an acknowledgement of the family. And how should I do that? Well, how about this? Let me start by saying to the Guthrie family that our hearts are heavy for them. A simple, it's a more technical, a nice, just what would you say? It's not. Would it be condolences if? We want to know that we don't care about your heavy heart, okay, agent, special agent. We want to know that you recognize the severity and that you are putting the appropriate manpower in place. That's what we want to know. Your heavy heart, you can keep your heavy heart. He actually wrote that down. He decided upon that and said, yes, I'll say, our hearts are heavy for them.
Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward.
You could say our hearts go out to the family. That's within the range of normal. I'd like to say that our thoughts and our prayers are with the family. Our hearts go out to them. Not our hearts are heavy for them. It's silly, and I don't like it.
For information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance, and this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents,
How much?
analysts, and professionals. Anything.
Have you raised it from the same price that you would give if someone found your cat? If you have any information leading to an arrest in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, possible abduction, the reward is $2,500. Yeah. Actually, scratch that. Your reward will be a coupon for 4 people to eat at Arby's or White Castle. If you love White Castle, find an old lady today.
To bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy.
50,000 White Castle reward. Okay, Joker187 M3V says, but where I am at with this post is this. Why come the neighbors? Okay, hang on a sec. But where I am with this post is, why come the neighbors, or how come the neighbors, that said the statement done interviews, that statement, how come the neighbors, you're saying, how come the neighbors that made that statement didn't interview with the press? I don't know.
Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance, and this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents, analysts, and professional staff employees working day and night with our partners at the Sheriff's Department. We have deployed additional intelligence and agents from our Phoenix office. We have brought in our Critical Incident Response Group from Quantico, Virginia. Members from our Cellular Analysis Survey team are here, and they continue to collect and process digital information. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information from all digital sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. All this information provides data points and helps put the picture together. And we will be in the community continuing to conduct a thorough investigation.
This is embarrassing. This is not making America look good on the world stage, is it? Now, this guy is the FBI, right? You can't find an old lady? Why? Why not? What's going on? Arrest that Rolo guy, the husband. I think it was definitely him. Trish Ann 9537 says, why did they take pictures last night at Annie's house? Well, that could have been for a lot of reasons. I think people were like, oh, they're doing luminol tests. Well, my thing that I said was, what if if they'd noticed that there had been an attempted break-in, like after all this went down, if they walked outside and they say, hey, look, there's a mark on the window. Did somebody try to break in? And they realized that maybe somebody tried to break in there. That kind of thing would call for police to attend, take photographs, possibly do luminol tests. It's not a straight indicator that they're under suspicion. I mean, they don't seem to be. They're certainly under my suspicion. I think that Annie Guthrie was jealous about Wonder Woman, her Wonder Woman sister Savannah, and She was the jewel of the nation. She was the apple of her mother's eye. Savannah could pay for all of the bunion treatments, and the sister felt that less than, right? Had enough. I started thinking that this whole situation, the plot and everything, it just sounds like Fargo. The movie, the Coen Brothers movie. We should do a comparison.
With our partners. You heard about us out there last night. We will be back out there today. I would ask the media, give our investigators the space to do their jobs while they're out there. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family, and while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken.
And I'm not about to, talk, comment about how people talk. I mean, that's not something I'd like to do. But this guy could sound a little bit more together, right? I mean, if there were a school play and one of the characters was like the idiot in the workplace and they wanted to come up with a voice that would fit that character, it would be this voice. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. You remember that? This guy's favorite phrase when he screws up, which is every day. He'll drop important papers into the wind so they all blow away, confidential stuff, and then he'll say, "Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs." That's the kind of voice. Paul Byrne says, "Is this live?" What? The press conference? No. But this video that's showing the press conference is.
Taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips. For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is...
Have we had any tarot card readers calling in to the tip line? I remember when Gabby Petito, everybody was looking for her body. And there was tarot card readers calling in with divination tips. They were like, yes. Oh, the chariot. Yeah, the chariot card has come up, and that means that Gabby might be near a body of water. And I think the cops were like, please don't send in your tarot card reading tips. Okay, this is serious.
To those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation.
Hey, MAGA 7K. We don't talk about politics. That's polarizing. Well, I don't want that here. Don't do that again. If you do that again, you're gone forever. Okay? And I don't have any political affiliation either way. It's no business of mine. I'm not a citizen. But I don't want it in the chat. It's just going to cause trouble. Okay? We got some people that think one thing and other people that think another. Why would that be my fucking responsibility to sort out? I don't want that. Don't do that again. There's no 3 strikes here. Final warning.
We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions. We have made 1 arrest related to an imposter ransom demand, and a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today. You will get more on that from the FBI and our U.S. Attorney's Office here in Arizona when it becomes available. To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma.
Do the right thing, man. This ain't going away. I was with Taco up in Broward, and he told me everything. Imagine if it was the Latin Kings that did this.
This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a worse, much worse scenario for you. Please return Nancy home. Thank you.
Do I have a list?
All right, so you want to call me on the phone?
You can call them up.
Okay, so the
Look at the FBI. What are they issuing? Light tan shoes to every agent? They're wearing light tan shoes that go with neither one of their suits. Okay? The agents on the left, we got gray suit, blue tie. We got dark suit, striped tie. Both of their shoes are not good for the suits, right? Which is better? Which is worse? Okay, if it were me, well, I'm never going to wear that light grey suit. That just wouldn't look good on me at all. But if it did, I don't know. I don't think either of them are good, right? Which can we do a poll on that? Is that important? I think it is. How do we do a poll on the shoes? Which shoe suit combo is better or worse? Worse. It is worse. Dark suit, light tan shoes, or light gray suit, light tan shoes. Yeah, vote in the poll, please, for this very important situation that's just unfolded.
first person we're going to start with the list is going to be NBC
Shall I
National.
leave it up for a second, just so you can all, let's just take that in, right? Make your decision. Think about it. Feel it. Which shoe suit combo is worse? Dark suit, light tan shoes, or light gray suit, light tan shoes? 100% are voting no. Definitely the light gray suit. Yeah, I agree, I think. But the dark combo, it's not correct, is it? It looks like he's wearing sneakers to school, right?
Liz Prince.
Right here. Can you walk us through that timeline from when you believe, if you look at this here, from 147 to 228, what you think happened there, and what particular software would have detected somebody on camera?
Yeah, I don't. I know we know the software that was there. But I'm not. Sorry, I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. Somebody walks up. My wife's. If I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
So to understand then, follow-up one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that this suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does this essentially mean that you've cooperated with the tech companies and you can officially say that no surveillance video is available from the home?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Next
And was that about
person.
45
Next
minutes?
person's going to be ABC News, Aaron Kapirsky.
Yeah, I'm sorry, was what 45 minutes?
Can we say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then, from 147 to 228?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates, so yes. I'm sorry, who was next, did you say?
Aaron Tursky, ABC News.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Is there information that you are purposefully withholding because of the active investigation that might be leading you in a particular direction?
It was a pretty good question, wasn't it? Is there information that you are purposely withholding? That's a good question. It puts someone on the spot, right?
You know, this is no different than any criminal investigation that we conduct here. Law enforcement has conducted investigations since 1865 here in Pima County. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us, but there's also strategy too. So, you know, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the Pima Critical Incident Team and the FBI, we could slow to bring that in at the outset should all of these resources been brought to bear sooner?
I guess that
Navy. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, West London 97.
oh, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me. I'll take that hit.
CBS News, Jonathan Vigliotti.
Sheriff, over here, has there been any proof of life, and has there been any sign of life?
I'm going to, anything to deal with the ransom notes and that, I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I
Spygal 92 says, I just think the same color, this is talking about the shoes now, I just think the same color kind of sticks out, not necessary that it looks horrible. Oh, no, it does. It absolutely does. If we look at one of them, I'm just putting my hand over the people. Yeah, no, they're both awful. Do you think they go shopping together? Shoe shopping day with the with my FBI partner. They're standing the same way as well. Maybe it's an act. Maybe it's like a double act. They're going to get out and you know, do they go everywhere in the investigation on a bicycle built for two, a tandem, and then they start juggling together? We got the magician and the jugglers.
can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on, you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of its existence?
So
Hey, Sheriff, do you not own an iron? What is with your pants and your shirt and just the whole look? He does not look like someone that's got ready for work. And sometimes you see a cop, a sheriff. I mean, look at the FBI guy. He's got the wrong shoes on, but at least he's put together. This sheriff isn't put together at all. He looks like he slept at someone else's house in his work clothes on the couch and then just went straight into the office the next day, right? No shower, no comb.
the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not
Given
everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point,
What were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics. It's very important that we keep this investigation moving forward, and we don't want to put more facts out there that others then can use to try to profit from this.
Who else would know,
CNN,
who else
next,
would know about
CNN,
an
next,
Apple?
Ed Lavandera.
Agent, I want to follow up with you real quick on that. There have been, as far as we know, I think 3 ransom notes so far, 1 arrest. Are they all different, or you think there's different authors behind all of them, or?
So the one that went to the media is the one we were currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there will be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case.
What an embarrassing thing to get arrested for. Yeah? It's like that guy that came into the Chris Watts case and said, yeah. No, I met Chris on Grindr, and we hooked up for like, you know, a blowjob exchange in his car on three occasions. Which was completely false. Why would you do that? I mean, attention, but seriously? That's what you want to be known for? The guy that made that up or came into the Guthrie case and wrote a fake ransom note? And was it to literally get the money? Like, hey, if we send a ransom note with a Bitcoin, maybe Savannah Guthrie will send us $1 million. And then what? Or was it just for, hey, I want to... It's almost like masochistic, isn't it? It's just, I want to be the guy that wrote the fake ransom note to the cops. No.
It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And Sheriff, you started off the press conference by saying you believe that Nancy
Beth!
is still out there.
Hello, Beth.
Do you have reason to believe that she's still out there alive, or are you fearful of the worst case scenario here, that she won't be found alive?
Well, I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But it is we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue.
Fearful? I don't want you to be fearful. You're the sheriff, okay? Be brave, suck it up, concerned. Okay? That's a way to say the same thing that doesn't make you look like a pussy.
You thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike Reese.
Yeah, sir. Mike Orwell from Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will the Bureau be submitting the DNA for investigative genealogical investigation relative to maybe hitting a relative, somebody if you will?
I would say the DNA aspect of this case is being handled by the Pima County Sheriff's Department right now. However, should we get to that point, yes, that would be an option for the FBI to assist.
And a quick follow-up, does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols in it?
No, it does not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden.
Right here, Ashley Holden. When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that camera was taken?
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located it.
And then a follow-up. I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes.
we're also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not going to go into facts regarding this part of the investigation. I think part of that message was with AI these days, you can make videos that appear to be very real. So we can't just take a video and trust that that is a proof of life these days because of the advancements in AI and trying to actually get a proof of life that we can verify. But we're not going to go into anything the family may or may not have received.
KOLD, Catherine Patterson.
So, in regards to a timeline on that ransom note, is that being an impact in your investigation? Are we nearing that timeline?
I'm sorry, one more time.
So, in regards to the timeline in the ransom note, are we nearing that timeline? And is that playing a part in the investigation?
We're not going to go again into specifics of that part of the investigation with the ransom note, other than what we've put out there. We've been transparent. We're talking about we are working that ransom demand, but we don't want to go anything further than that could impact any opportunities. So thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well, I think I said on day one is that it's technology that's going to really help us solve this case. But no, I mean, you know, we did do a process of that scene for biological evidence, so we're still hopeful that maybe something will show up there as well.
Arizona Republic, Richard Relas.
Hopeful.
Yes.
Where's the hopeful? Again, this guy needs to go back to school. Confidence is the word that you should use. Concerned rather than fearful. Confident rather than helpful. It's all about linguistics. Where's my girl, Mrs. D? She'll tell you. She'll tell you. She knows.
We saw on the scene.
We're hopeful that something might turn up. Great. That sounds great.
I believe it was you taking a tripod into the home of the sister. How involved was the FBI, if at all, in creating the video? Any advice for the family over the search?
I would say we use our expertise and provide consultation and advice anytime a family would ask for our advice in a kidnapping. It's ultimately the family's decision of what they put out and any messages they put out. But we were, obviously you're all documenting every move we make. We were there last night in talking with the family. But every decision
I should have muted my sneeze. I'm sorry about that.
is theirs.
Right, that was a tripod and a ring light. And Sheriff
Both
Nanos,
of them.
You said the blood was found on the porch and on the front stoop. Just wanted to verify that.
I say porch, front stoop. It's all in that same general area by the front door.
Front of the house.
Front door, yes.
What, given her medical condition and the fact that it was her blood, as you say, what would her medical condition do with her recovery if she indeed bled out or was bleeding when she left the house?
Well, again, I've got to be careful for HIPAA, but I would say this. We know she is in need of medication, daily medication. And we also know that this is day 4 or 5 and still we don't know that she's getting her medication. That could in itself prove fatal.
And for the
No, that'll be that question.
Yes, sir,
For
your name?
KGUN News, we have Craig Smith and Athena.
I'll get that for you. I'll do that.
Craig?
KGUN, Athena,
Oh,
Craig
okay.
Have you been in communication with anyone who you believe could be the kidnapper?
You know, it goes back to what we talked about. Nobody's eliminated, but we just really don't have enough to say, this is our suspect, this is our guy. We know,
So you haven't eliminated anyone, and you haven't suspected anyone, and you're hopeful that some evidence might turn up, and you're fearful about her condition. Like, what have they been doing? I could do a better job of this investigation with no training at all. okay?
Our gal. We just don't know that. And it's really kind
Just give me a badge. Just give me a badge and a gun.
of reckless to report that someone is a suspect when they could very well be a victim. It just, I bring to you, to the media.
Yeah, this is a very complicated case. We've got suspects, and we've got victims, and we've got accomplices, and we've got witnesses, and we've got bystanders. There's a lot of different categories that we have to do.
Plead with you to be careful of what it is we put out there, because we don't have any.
Can I just say for the record, I've already said that this guy's like a magician that performs at children's parties, which is a little bit of a questionable profession, don't you think? I wouldn't let this guy near my kids. I would not leave my children with this sheriff for an afternoon. I would not be comfortable with that because he's got a weird vibe.
Here listed as a suspect, and you could actually be doing some damage to the case, but you can do some damage to that individual too. Social media is kind of an ugly world sometimes.
Yeah, so's your sheriff's department. When you're at the helm, it's an ugly world in the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I don't like it.
How far out have you expanded your search, would you say?
You know, I would tell you this. Look, nothing's off the table. If we get a lead that there's somebody, hey, you've got this over here or over here, we're going. And that will expand and expand and expand. I think the FBI, with their billboards, they're now planning to put those up at every state around here, at all of our neighboring states.
Hey, West London, what was that in reference to? West London says, dumb questions, genealogy takes years. Was that a question someone asked? Or what? What do you mean by that?
So, we use you, the national media, the FBI with their national outreach, to affect that for us. But as far as the actual...
Their national outreach... The FBI doesn't... They're on the same press conference. They don't have an additional press conference. Resources. The FBI with their resources. That's the word you're looking for. Every time this guy says something, it's wrong.
Investigation, naturally the scene is the primary, and we just keep spreading it out as we get more and more leads.
Court TV, Cody Thomas.
Right here, Sheriff. Actually, my question is for Agent Yonke. You know, we saw Savannah Guthrie and her sibling family put out that video last night on Instagram addressing, you know, the tragedy that this is, but also addressing the ransom letter saying they're ready to talk. My question is, did the FBI or any other agency help them craft that message to put out on social media?
Like I said to the previous question, we have an expertise when it comes to kidnappings, and when families want advice.
Dennis is confident, more confident than the sheriff. Look, I look awesome in a suit, only at weddings, and, you know, well, people tend to look good in suits. I mean, ZZ Top told us all about that, right? Every girl crazy about a sharp-dressed man.
Consultation, expertise, we will provide that, but the ultimate decisions on what they say and how they put that out rests with the family itself.
And as far as suspects, I know we haven't identified one, but what type of suspect or suspects do we think we're dealing with here?
At this time, like the sheriff has said, there is no primary suspect identified, so it could run the gamut. So.
KPNX, Troy Hayden.
Are you actively investigating the son-in-law in this case? I know there were reports earlier this week, and you refuted that. You said you haven't eliminated everybody. Have you eliminated him or come close to it, or are you actively looking at him?
We're actively looking at everybody we come across in this case. Everybody. We would be irresponsible if we didn't talk to everybody. The Uber driver, the gardener, the pool person, whoever, everybody. It's so cliche.
What about the roof cleaner? Nancy Guthrie had the cleanest Ruth in Arizona. I mean, it's ash white. It's just.
But everybody's still a suspect in our eyes. That's just how we look at things and think as cops. Does that mean we have a prime suspect? No, and the family's been very cooperative. They've done everything we've asked of them, and we want that relationship to continue. And sometimes people can be mean out there, and that can really harm us and harm our efforts.
Did you find blood anywhere else in the home besides the porch?
The only DNA evidence we've got back is on the porch. We prioritize things and we rush things, and those items we put out to a lab to rush it. And even then, it's 2, 3, 4 days. The other items could take 10 days, 20 days, but we saw the importance of that blood. It came back to Nancy.
So it was only there, it wasn't anywhere else in the house?
I don't know that. We processed the house for biological evidence, and we've not gotten anything back.
Newsmax, Sarah Williamson.
Hi there. My question is just piggybacking off our colleagues here about how far this search has gone. When it comes to doorbell cameras, you say technology plays a critical role in this. Have you been actively door knocking the neighbours and businesses and collecting those doorbell cameras? And is there anything that has come up there, and how far is that?
I can't tell you whether things have come up or not, but we have door to door. I think we're still doing door to door, not just in that neighborhood, but other neighborhoods. Just as leads come in and take us somewhere, we're going to do those things.
Okay, and just to follow up as well in regards to the video that was released by Nancy Guthrie's children last night, just to clarify, that was not coordinated with any law enforcement beforehand, and that you hadn't seen that video before it was released?
The FBI is handling all things with the ransom.
I think the answer was yes, we were there. The media was there. We can help coordinate, provide that consultation, but that is the family's decision of what they film and what they put out.
Fox 10, Justin Liu.
Agent Yankee, this one's for you. Following up on that video that was released yesterday, you said, ultimately any further action is decided on by the family.
No, this is 3 days ago, I believe, John.
Since then, have they expressed any more interest in...
But it's the longest portion that we've been exposed to this inept sheriff. Look at him there. Where's Sheriff John Bonnell? Let's put him back on screen. Maybe Sheriff John Bonnell would do a better job. Golden Bonnell. Where is it? Oh, it doesn't matter. Forget that.
And more efforts to try and get in contact with
Hey, bro, I'm a fucking father. You're a fucking with me.
Negotiator.
Oh, look, our brand new coffee alert. It worked like a charm. Maybe I should move it higher up, though. That was too scented. Thank you so much for the coffees, Nina. What does Nina tell us? That is a great way to support the channel. buymeacoffee.com/true crime Metrix, right? And PayPal as well. Also, links in the description. Merch links in the description. Social links. Support links. Patreon links in the description. Verify that it's me. Of course it's me. I need to be more on this. Okay, now. What is, okay. Nina says, you always make me laugh. I like the way your mind works. Yeah, it's working overtime. Too much. Sometimes I just want to take my brain out of my head and throw it into a busy road and watch it be hit by a truck. It's so busy in there, you know.
With your
Thank you for the coffees, Nina. That is so much appreciated. We love it. We love coffee, and we love you, and we thank you, and it's just so kind and generous, and we're just, we're moved. We really are. We are moved beyond words.
for that type of situation if it moves forward?
So the two parts of that question of, I think it's pretty clear, the family wants to be contacted. They know time is of the essence, and if those that may have Nancy are watching this, the family is ready to talk, get proof of life, because there has been no contact after that ransomware note, or ransom note went to the media. For your second question, yes, we have crisis negotiators. That is part of our team here locally, along with the personnel we brought in from Quantico, and they will be part of it, but we're not going to go beyond that of any specifics.
Sheriff Nanos, taking down the crime scene perimeter after Monday's investigation and really opening access to that property to everyone else, was that something you would do differently looking back, knowing that, you know, federal authorities also conducted a search yesterday? Would you have kept that perimeter up, knowing that?
You know, Monday morning quarterback, I probably would have, but I'll say this.
Monday morning quarterback. Ugh. Backseat driver.
Process the scene. We got what we thought was complete. My team did that. I have to have all the faith and trust in their abilities and their skills, and I think they went through that pretty well. But because another agency now steps in and wants to assist, we're just like with you, we're an open book. Absolutely. How can we help? One of the things people don't see, I heard your question about, you know, and we left and then others could walk up. You know, when we process a scene and we're done, we return that scene to in this case, the homeowners, the family. And we don't just go march back in there. We call the family again and get permissions to go back to the home. So, yeah, there's, again, Monday morning quarterback, absolutely. I probably could have held off on that. We knew that the FBI, we've worked with them before in a lot of cases, and we felt like they could be of help in this with particularly the forensic analysis we use in a number of things. But we, at the start of this thing, we weren't sure what we had, and as the day progressed, we realized that there's
Okay, Celia Triolo says that apparently the roof was freshly sealed and painted. Well, that's convenient. Right before you're going to have helicopters, newscopters above your house filming from the sky. Yeah, we better make sure that roof looks good. You know how people clean up? Like super clean up? If they're going to have people coming for Christmas or something, right? They'll do a super cleanup. They'll clean the whole house. But they never think of the roof, do they? But if you're a Guthrie, you have to think of these things.
There could be more to this, and we started in that. Remember, it was a search and rescue mission the first few hours, and we transitioned that over to a criminal matter.
It was a search. It was a search and rescue mission. The first few hours, we just called Fish and Game and had them drive around in a kind of desert golf cart. Yeah. Fish and Game couldn't find anything, so we had to call the FBI, the feds.
Investigation. With that, brought in our partners from the FBI and others.
Have you heard from President Trump on the resources?
Univision, Claudia
I was
Ramos.
actually going to ask about that. We saw the message yesterday.
Are you next?
Claudia, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Univision. Following up on that, we saw the message from the president yesterday. Have you personally received any communication from him or
No, and I wouldn't expect that. He too is a busy man, right? And I would say this: we thank him for him opening up his entire law enforcement team was put out yesterday, and we know, you know.
Okay, so I need to start a new poll. So I'm ending this poll. The results are 58% say that the light grey suit with light tan shoes is worse than the the dark navy suit with light tan shoes. And I agree. I mean, I have shoes that are not quite as light as that, and I have a navy suit, but it's a darker blue and a darker brown. And my tie is like so much better than that. I would never, not in a million years, wear that goddamn tie. Either one of them.
I know my local reporters here know. We've always worked well with all of our partners in law enforcement. Maybe it's something unique to Southern Arizona and the rest of the country doesn't see that, but this isn't new for us. We've done this. Gabby Giffords, I headed up that investigation many years ago, and we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI on that.
And just the other question, this being a border state, have you guys had any communication with Mexican authorities?
I have not. I work closely with the Mexican consulate, as other consulates, being the sheriff, but no, I've not heard from them.
Arizona Univision.
I've not heard from them. Well, they're the ones that should be hearing from you. They haven't called. No. You think they'd get in touch and say, what would they say? Did you find that old lady?
Madres.
Hi, Sheriff. My question is, do you know, it's a two-part question, do you know what medication Nancy uses? And have you checked the local pharmacies and pharmacies around the state where they bought, per se, this medication to keep her alive, to keep her healthy, while we still look for her?
So we do know what medications, and we have contacted pharmacies. Probably need to go back to just make sure that they didn't. Maybe we contacted them early on. I know that night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I know we were doing all the hospital checks, and that check was continuous every hour, going back out and physically in person. Deputies were going to each local area hospital and asking them to check their logs.
My second question here is, I know you're looking for her in Pima County. Are you looking for her across the state now? And if so, if there's a particular area that you're focusing on?
Well, we're looking for her everywhere, right? The FBI just made an arrest on a tip that we got that we thought there could be something here. There's it's statewide. The billboards are going to be out there across the country. We take leads from everywhere, and where those leads take us, we'll get there.
MS Now, Alex Talbot.
Agent Yankee, do you have any reason to believe that Nancy Guthrie may be being held outside of the country? Is that something that you ruled out at this point?
We don't have any of that information. We haven't ruled anything out. Like the sheriff said, we will follow the facts wherever they take us, whether it is outside of the state of Arizona or over the border. We will follow the facts and go there, but we have no indication anything over the Mexican border.
And you mentioned on the ransom note there were details about the Apple Watch and the floodlight.
Yep.
The ransom notes that were sent out to TMZ, KGUN, and what ransom notes?
The ones that I am tracking and aware of were the same that went to TMZ also.
News Nation, Brian Enton.
Agent Yankee, sorry.
Yes.
When did the first ransom note arrive? And the reason I ask is because the Apple Watch has been in the news and on social media, and you could see like floodlights on video. So was it before those things were out in the world?
I don't have the specific time frame as I sit here today of what time it came in, but that you are right. Anyone could see a floodlight hanging down, could have seen some of those things. The watch has been talked about, so that timing is tricky, but that's why we're taking it serious no matter what and following the leads on that. But I don't have the time frame that the first note came in as I sit here today. Thank you.
And my follow-up is for the sheriff. In the house, were there any signs that someone tried to clean up or maybe destroy evidence?
I can't talk about the crime scene, so I'll give you another shot, another question.
My other question is, I heard the agents say that it was a joint investigation now. At the other press conference, the FBI said they were assisting. Is it joint now? I mean, are both agencies in charge now?
Look, there's no ego here. We in this part of the country, we'll take anybody's help. It's not about yeah, it's not about who's in charge. From day one.
Well, I fucking hope it's not you, man. Don't put this guy in charge of anything.
When we contacted the FBI, they were that gracious to say, whatever you need, whatever you need. And so that's really it. And they're great partners, just as my other local law enforcement brethren. I didn't even have to ask. That's what's really amazing. I haven't had to call anybody. They've called me. Sheriff, what do you need?
Arizona's family, Brianna Whitney.
Sure. I know you had the crime scene process. You said you went back out there. Your partners wanted to see it. But you guys were actively taking out evidence yesterday. Was there something you missed the first time, or did you get a new piece of information that led you to believe you needed to go back out and take more than you had that first day?
You know, I know that we get information that will come, and this is just any crime scene that we look at. We may go out to a crime scene and think we've got it all, go analyze the evidence, and something comes back and says, hey, did you check this? We're not going to just say, oops, and not go.
So
Absolutely. In this instance, it really was the FBI just wanted to go, hey, can we take a look at it?
Are you worried about that being contaminated at all because there was people in that?
You know, I'll let the courts worry about that. We will certainly be open to the courts of
I'll let the courts worry about that. You're talking about evidence that might now be compromised because you failed to secure the crime scene and just let people back in a ridiculously short amount of time. And now your answer as to how that will affect things is, I'll let the courts worry about that. This guy not only needs to be taken off the case, he needs to be stripped of his title, and those little badges, those little star badges on his collar, they need to be ripped from his neck and burnt.
Anything that's been removed from that house, and we follow the rules of laws. We get court orders and go back and reapply for another warrant if need be. All of those things we're very careful of.
Arizona Public Media, Lynn Boyd.
Ellen Boyd over here. In that news release yesterday, there was a report of a trespasser. Has the Guthrie family dealt with any incidents, threats, whether that's trespassing, social media threats, anything of that nature?
I am not aware of any of that. I know that we, as with any case, again, we would look at all of the background of calls to those families or their residents and see if there's anything there, or even in that neighborhood. Those things have been looked at. I don't know of anything that was reported in even the last 30 days or 60 days. Nobody's come to me and said, hey, next door you had a burglary.
35, Leah? Is that all we've done? Please do leave a like on the video. God, my God, 35, is that it? Is that my status in the community? 35 likes? I gotta check that. Is that a true fact? Because that is shocking. 42. All right, well, I'm adding mine. 43. Yeah, please do leave a fucking like on the video. That's the least you could do. And support the channel on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix.
Follow up for the neighborhood where Nancy's home is. Can you give any more details on that trespassing incident?
I don't have them.
Telemundo, Jesus Gonzalez.
It's for the FBI. I just have a question. Can we confirm if the FBI director is coming for investigation?
Yes, Director Patel is being briefed several times a day on this investigation back in D.C. He does have a trip scheduled to Tucson that was pre-scheduled before this, but he is receiving consistent and constant updates from our team here.
He's coming today?
He is not coming today.
And before you go to the next one, I know you may have had a follow-up question, but I think I overstepped you. So if you wanted to ask, I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you. At what point do you deem the ransom note not credible if there is no communication that follows up since you received it? Like, what's that timeline where you say, no proof of life, there's no more, this isn't credible?
I think we start to look at what the deadlines were in the note. First, I think was 5 o'clock today, and then it had a second deadline after that. So we are continuing in a normal kidnapping case. There would be contact by now, trying to discuss that. But those are the time frames we are looking at as we move forward.
Are you able to say that second deadline that was given?
I don't have that with me right now. So thank you.
Sorry about that. Entertainment Tonight, Denny Directo.
Yes, my question actually is for Agent Yonke. There was a report that said the ransom came from an email that the FBI was actually looking into that IP address. Any update on that?
Nothing that I can release. Thank you.
And then also...
Yeah, and your affiliation is meaningless. I mean, can you imagine how embarrassing it would be when you're around other real journalists and then you get announced as working for Entertainment Tonight? It must be so humiliating because no one gives a fuck what you say, right? The cop's not even going to give you a question. No, I can't answer. Sorry. Next. Can I get Fox or NBC or Dateline? Do we have Dateline?
There's also conflicting reports about who was the last person to actually see Nancy and drive her home. She took an Uber to Annie's house, but can you confirm whether it was Annie or her son-in-law Tommaso who took her home that night?
I think the timeline that the sheriff provided was a family member, but
Just family. We're going to go with family.
Record TV, Vandry Piera.
We are foreign nationals, so we're not familiar with the area, so we think that it's a remote area. So my question is, why is it so hard to track a car or something suspicious that have passed?
Man, I am starving. I'm trying to think what I could eat while streaming. What can I put to cook without being there? An egg. Maybe an egg. Just a straight egg. There's no bread. Otherwise we could have a fried egg sandwich. But maybe just an egg. That'll be a protein boost. We'll see. I'll try and make a decision.
The area at that time, how difficult it is, because probably cameras around or something.
Yeah, you're talking about the challenges we face in some of being in a rural area like this. Those are challenges we face all the time. We'd love it to have all the cameras in a.
And I apologize for getting your name wrong here, Reese. Tebow?
No, you're close.
Tebow.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
The 212.
Reese Evil.
That detected movement at 212.
Reese Evil? Knievel?
Was that a different camera than the one that was disconnected at 147, and where was it pointed?
We don't know that. We don't know which camera that was. When we did the software, it just told us that a person was detected, but I'm unaware of which camera that was.
So there were multiple cameras, and you're not sure?
Sure. There were multiple cameras at the home.
Okay. And is there a possibility that this is not a ransom situation, and if so, what else?
His answer is going to be, nothing's off the table at this point. We don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I would say absolutely there's...
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm the sheriff of the community. I've got the full weight and force of the FBI behind me. And your guess is as good as mine. That is a tragically poor choice of words. You're leading the investigation and giving a press conference to the media and the world. Your guess is as good as mine? Unbelievable.
There's a possibility that this is nothing to...
I want this guy to be out of a job. What should be his new job apart from the magician children's birthday entertainer thing? which I don't think he's safe around children. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to risk innocence. So what else? Maybe something in a factory. Something just, installing washing machine motors, or maybe not motors. That's too much. Just putting after the washing machine has been assembled, this guy